is peace, with peace itself, which means if you're not at peace with God, you are not at peace. And people who are not at peace cannot make peace. People who are not at peace cannot appreciate the value of peace, do not understand the meaning of peace. Peace is not an idea, peace is a feeling. Peace is a reality. And you cannot become a peacemaker unless you have first made peace with peace himself. And this is an important prayer. And God also says in the Quran, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, Man qatala nafsin bighayri nafsin aw fasadin fil ard, faka'annama qatala an-nasa jami'an, wa man ahyaha faka'annama ahya an-nas jami'an. This is something in the Quran, chapter 5, verse 32. It was also revealed in the Torah. This with a slight variation. In this, God says, I have said this to the people of Israel, and I'm telling you too, that he who has killed one innocent soul is as if he has killed all of humanity, and he who has saved one life is as if he has saved all of humanity. But this is how it is also in the Torah. But the Quran has an additional caveat. It says that one who has killed an innocent soul, except for killing somebody or for creating fasad fil ard, which is like terrorism on earth. If you remember what happened in Orlando, it is astonishing that the only exception that God makes is for those who kill. The only exception. Everybody else, according to this verse, is innocent. Every soul is innocent except those who kill and those who cause terror on earth. And so if the killer in Orlando was killing these people because they were of alternate lifestyle, then at least in the eyes of God, they are innocent and he is the perpetrator of oppression and violence. It is a very sad development because it is a reflection of, in many ways, our culture. There are three possibilities to what may have happened. This man who committed these crimes, it is possible that he was struggling with his own identity. He was unable to come to terms with the reality that he may have been a homosexual person. Even though he was married twice, he continued to date and continued to frequent gay bars. And he was also religious. He committed to pilgrimages to Mecca in 2011 and 2012, so it's quite possible that his religious identity and his alternative lifestyle identity created a dissonance which he could not cope with. So it was a psychological crisis which led him to commit this insane act. But it is also possible that he was radicalized. He was radicalized. There's enough evidence to show that he is radicalized when he made. Even during his shooting spree, he was calling the police and letting them know that he had pledged allegiance to ISIS. And on Facebook, he left messages even before committing the crime that he was going to take revenge on behalf of ISIS. So it was possible that he was radicalized. But I do ask you this question. There are people who go through lots of crises at various points. People face all kinds of frustrations. But in this moment of madness, in this moment of insanity, what would have happened if he didn't have access to a gun?
Yes, sir.
What would he do if he had no access to a weapon of mass destruction? We went to war to eliminate weapons of mass destruction. And we go to war at home to have weapons of mass destruction easily available. Certain kinds of cheese are difficult to buy in this country, but not guns. And that is a serious question. What does it tell about our society and about our culture? How can we be peacemakers if we are at peace? It's the irony of this country that they call guns as peacemakers, if you remember 1865. We've been doing this for more than 150 years. We've called weapons as peacemakers. So this is a serious issue and concern. I don't know as to how many of you know, but since the attacks in Orlando, we have had 4 mass shootings We have had 4 mass shootings with 4 deaths and 11 injured. We have maybe 180 days this year, and we have had more than 180 mass shootings. 287 people have died from gun violence, and hundreds more have been injured. So this is a serious question for our society. Yes, we are confronted with what happened in Orlando is like a mirror that God is trying to show us about our society. It shows both aspects of prejudice. The man will have committed the crime out of prejudice, and he's going to spawn a lot of prejudice. In the month of Ramadan, when God expects us to be at our spiritual best, the month of Ramadan is about not doing anything that takes your mind and heart off God. Eating, drinking, sex, chatting, talking. You're not supposed to indulge in anything that will take your mind and heart off God. That is the month of Ramadan. This is the month in which the gates to heaven are open. God is begging us to begging for forgiveness because He's ready to forgive our sins. And it is in this month that we let the beast dominate us. That is the shocking part of it. But the question is that the biggest victims of this attack are going to be Muslims. I'm reminded of a Sufi mystic who lived on a mountain, and he lived under a tree, and he remembered God and prayed to God for about 10 years. The tree kept providing him an apple every time he was hungry. There was a stream, he drank water, he didn't need anything. And one day he decided to go down the mountain and meet the civilization. Maybe he needed a new jacket, I don't know why. When he went down, he was horrified by humanity and civilization. There was a man who wanted to be king, and he promised to kill minorities of religion and different races. There were people who were killing each other and fighting for the right to have weapons. He was horrified. He came running back to the mountain and said, God, what is going on? I see terrorism, I see war, I see hunger, I see prejudice, I see discrimination, I see racism. I see inequality of wealth that is so overpowering. What is going on, God? Why don't you do something? And God said, I already did. And the mystic said, what did you do? He said, I created you. And that is the question to all of us, that what are we doing while things like Orlando happen? Believe it or not, I consider all of us to some degree culpable because we have allowed it to happen. We are not only allowing people to preach hate in this country, but we are rewarding them for it. We are rewarding people to be prejudiced on the basis of religion, on the basis of race, on the basis of nationality. And this is not a new virtue. America was founded on the opposite of this. So it's a congenital. These values should be congenital to us, but we have not done this. In these words, when God says that he who has killed one innocent human being, has killed one soul, is as if he has killed all of humanity, God is also telling us the value of life. Each life is as valuable as entire humanity. And if we cannot respect one life, that means we do not respect life itself. If we do not respect one life, we do not respect life itself. That is why God is equating the killing of one innocent life with the killing of all of humanity. But think of it in another way. When you kill somebody, when you take a life, no human can do that. Because God has created us in His image, isn't He? God is the most merciful, most kind, the source of all peace. So when you kill, you do two things. You take a human life, but before that you kill the humanity inside yourself. You become a beast before you can kill. And that is also the message from the Quran, that when you kill an innocent being, it's as if you have killed all humanity because you cease to be a human. And if all of us can sit there and watch then we have to worry about our humanity. I think rather than trying to ban Muslims, we should ban guns. And rather than trying to make America great again, I think we should try and make America safe again. I will invite you all to pray with me. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Ar-Rahmanir-Rahim. Maliki Yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Ihdina as-sirata al-mustaqim. Sirata allazina an'amta alayhim. غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين.